Very good morning, children. Chapter 5 Soil. As you know, we have completed these points of this chapter, that is soil, soil profile, soil erosion, and soil conservation. So, these points we have covered in our all the previous videos. So, hopefully, you all have understood all the points and all the points have been clear in your mind. So, I am starting the exercise, and there are certain points which have to be revised again and they are important for this chapter. So this is the let's revise. So let's revise. Soil is important for plants, animals and human beings. Of course, soil is very important for the animals, for the plants and all the living creature. The three layers of soil are topsoil, subsoil and bedrock. As we have studied in soil profile, according to the soil profile there are three layers, that are topsoil, subsoil and bedrock. So these are the three layers. And then wind, water and human activities cause soil erosion. Soil erosion. Soil, soil is very important, and there are three layers of the soil, in which topsoil is the most fertile layer, and by the water, wind and human activities, the topsoil, the fertile layer has been removed. So this is known as soil erosion. So soil erosion, we have to prevent the soil erosion by the different means or by the different ways, and that process of protecting the topsoil or the humus containing topsoil is done by the help of plantation and afforestation, which are known as soil conservation. So planting more and more trees help to conserve soil. Of course, if we want to protect our soil, if we want to save the topsoil, the fertile layer of the soil, we must have to start plantation or afforestation. So that is the soil conservation, that comes under the soil conservation. Terrace farming, other hand, terrace farming in hilly region prevent soil erosion. Of course, this is the terrace farming. And student, so this point, last point has been left in this chapter, which is very important. So I'm going to start the terrace farming. So point number 4. In hilly region, slopes are cut into steps or terraces to reduce soil erosion. Children, if you can see the picture here, that is the picture of mountain or the slopey area, hilly area, where the slopes or the hill slopes, you can see the slopes easily, where it is difficult to keep the soil on their original position, because of the slopey area. When the rainfall occurs, the rain take away or carried away all the soil along with them, and due to the slopey structure, the rate of the carrying away the soil will be faster. So to avoid this soil erosion, in the slopey area, the farmers will do the terrace farming. They make certain steps, like the steps, each and every steps you can see here. The steps is very plays a very good role, or plays an important role to prevent the soil erosion. So that is why the terrace farming is also termed as the steps farming, because of the presence of multiple steps. So in hilly region, slopes are cut into steps or terraces to reduce the soil erosion. This is called terrace farming. Steps reduces the speed of flowing water, because that is a slopey area, and it is important to stop the flow of the water. That is why the steps have been made in the slopey region. So the amount of soil being carried away also reduces. If the steps are there, these steps reduces the soil erosion. The soil eroded from one step deposits on the next step. So basically, in the slopy area, in the hilly region, the slopes or the mountains or the hills are divided into several steps or terraces. These steps or terraces stop the flow of the water, and if they stop the flow of the water, they will also stop the flow of the soil along with water, and then these steps are helpful in reducing the soil erosion in the slopy or hilly region. So these step farming is also known as terrace farming. So it is a very important thing. It will come in the examination as in the question, like define the terrace farming, or it could come as short notes ki what are terrace farming, or define these terms. It will come under the heading define these terms, terrace farming. So this is a very important point. Now the next is, during the monsoon season, many rivers flood the nearby fields. Building embankments along the rivers prevent soil erosion. Building embankment means the dikes. As you know, the dikes are the walls which are meant to protect the field or protect the area by the water, by the flood, due to the flood. So these building embankments are like a dikes. During the monsoon season, when the level of water will be increased, then these embankments or the dikes are very essential, or they plays an important role for preventing the soil erosion. Okay, so these are certain points which we have covered in the soil conservation. So I hope soil conservation will be clear in your mind. Soil conservation, the process of soil formation, take millions of years. We should protect the soil from being eroded away. The protection, soil conservation is the protection of soil against the soil erosion. That is soil conservation. And in the soil conservation, there are so many ways. The first way is the plantation or afforestation. By planting more and more trees, we can reduce the soil erosion. We can reduce the erosion of fertile layer. Now the next is, when the land or when the farms are bare, there must be a covering crops. There must be a covering crops, because the grasses are the covering crops. The roots of these grasses hold the soil, and thus they prevent the soil erosion. So covering crops must be grown in the bare farm. Now the next is trees and bushes. Trees and bushes they plays a very important role. We can use these bushes and trees as a boundary, so they can prevent the water flow and also the flow of soil along with water. That is why they also help in the soil erosion. The next is the hilly region, the terrace farming. In slopes or in the hilly area, the terrace farming or the step farming, there are certain steps, 1, 2, 3. The steps like the stairs, the steps farming is very important. These steps or terraces actually prevent the flow of water in the slopes, as well as they also restrict the soil erosion with the water. That is why it is very useful in the hilly region, and the people of the hilly region do the terrace farming, and they successfully grow the plants and crops there because of the help of terrace farming. Now the next is building embankments. Building embankments or the dikes are the walls which are meant in the rainy season or in the monsoon season. Monsoon season is the rainy season for the rivers, to protect the nearby area from the flood. So by the building embankments or the dikes, by the manufacturing of dikes, the soil erosion will be prevented. So all these point are I think all these points are clear now. Now move towards the exercise. That is the first exercise is tick the correct answer. So first question in the tick the correct answer is soil is formed by the weathering of options. There are 4 options: rocks, clouds, air and water. So soil is formed by the weathering of rocks. Weathering of rocks. The most fertile layer of the soil is subsoil, bedrock, topsoil and rocks. Of course, the most fertile layer of the soil is topsoil. Now the third question, which of the following human activity is leading to soil erosion? Options are afforestation, deforestation, farming and all of these. So option number D, deforestation, that is cutting of trees. Cutting of trees is a human activity which leads to soil erosion. Now the next is the erosion of the soil along the river banks can be prevented by building embankments over the dikes. So answer number C will be the right answer. Now the next question, number 5. In hilly region, what can be done to prevent soil erosion? Hilly region, just we have studied about this hilly region or in the slopy area. Of course, the options are terrace farming, overgrazing, plowing hill slopes or deforestation. So right answer will be terrace farming. This is the right answer. So children, do this, tick the correct answer in your classwork copy. Hopefully you all have understood the explanation and the exercise area. So thank you for watching this video.